It's been nearly a year and a half since coronavirus forced thousands of workers from their offices to their homes. And now, even while some offices start to open, it looks like the hybrid work model is here to stay. So it's important to ensure you have the right tools to stay efficient as you juggle work from multiple locations. Now, here to explain how you can incorporate products in your work routine that facilitate productivity from anywhere is Amy Lang, a hybrid worker and Senior Vice President of Marketing and Strategy at Staples U.S. Retail. Good morning, Amy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. Now, what is the future of the workplace looking like today?
Yeah, the future of the workplace is wherever you are. It's really about flexibility. We've seen this massive change in the way that people are working in the last couple of years, and it's not going away. We recently surveyed US companies, and over 60% said that they were planning to incorporate remote working flexibility into the way that they ask their workers to work. And even more recently, a study came out that said over 50% of US workers are going to be remote in some capacity. So this is definitely what's happening. Employees are expecting it. They like having some more control over their lives and having a little bit of flexibility built into how they work. And I think companies are really starting to embrace it. They've seen that employees can be productive, maybe even more productive when they have that flexibility, and it retains workers and it boosts morale. So it really is the evolution of work. It's wherever you are.
Yeah, it is. Now, what are some of the problems people encounter when setting up their home office for more long term or for those starting a business?
Yeah, and whether you're starting a business or you're a remote worker working for a large company, in many cases, you're working from your home and those challenges will be the same for you. And even 2 years into this pandemic where people have been working from home for a long time, they're still kind of figuring things out as we go. One of the biggest challenges people have is finding a space in their home where they can be productive. If you have a study or a spare bedroom, that's pretty easy. But most families, mine included, we don't have that flexibility. So you have to carve out a spot somewhere in your house that you can really call your own and where you can get into that mindset of work and be productive. I'm at the end of my kids' playroom, so we've separated it with bookshelves and a dividing wall. And when I step in here, I can focus, I can feel really productive. I've got everything set up the way that I need it. And that's important for me mentally. But I think also having the right tools, you need the right technology, you need Wi-Fi extenders, you need video, you need audio, you need ring lights, you need a comfortable chair. And people are still sort of figuring out what fits for them as they are realizing that this is probably going to be long-term. So lots of needs around that. And we have a lot of solutions for that in our Staples stores that folks can come check out.
Well, speaking of that, what are solutions for those with hybrid models or that might be working on the go?
Yeah, so hybrid work is this new evolution that's happening, and it creates even more challenges. So I recently started to go into the office 2 days a week. Now I'm packing and unpacking things all the time. I'm forgetting things. So it's created this new challenge for me. And so we recently introduced at Staples stores a whole range of products specifically designed for this. We call it actually the Instant Office, so that you don't have to forget things and that makes it really easy. One of the tools that I use when I go to the office is this. It's called a mobile workstation. It's a very slim briefcase. You put everything in it, your laptop, your files, your notebooks, everything, and you don't unpack it or pack it. When you get to the office, you open it up, you work, and then when you're done, you just fold it up and you leave. And if I were to go to a coffee shop or a plain lounge, I would do the same thing. So it's really easy tool for me where I can keep everything that I need. I never forget anything, and I'm always on the go. Another great tool that I've started to use recently, I take my daughters to their dance classes twice a week, and I have an hour where I'm sitting waiting for them. I don't want to bring my laptop because I don't have a table, but I bring my phone and I bring a foldable keyboard. And this is actually super helpful because I can respond to longer emails and be really productive. And in an hour, I can knock out quite a bit of work that I would otherwise just be waiting for me when I got home. So there are great tools like that that let you be productive on the go. And it just really depends on what you need and what your needs are.
So, what are the final key takeaways you want people to know about the future of our work model and workers' needs?
Yeah, the future of work is here. It is all about flexibility. And as employees, we can really embrace this and take advantage of it and reestablish new ways of working. Take advantage of these tools and really kind of explore what works for you. And for companies, embrace this as well. Your employees are looking for it, they're really demanding it. And so making sure that they're outfitted with what they need is going to be key to productivity. And you can find lots of great ideas at Staples stores and at staplesconnect.com. We've got all kinds of tools to outfit you for success.
Amy, it's interesting that we're working from home now, and there are still some major corporations that haven't got the employees in their office yet. So with us, everybody working at home and television doing Zoom interviews a lot, versus coming into the studio. You've got Google Meet, you got all these devices. Now, Facebook has called itself Meta, being part of the Metaverse. Do you think that's what's happening with working remotely, that we're all part of this huge metaverse?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it quite so philosophically, but I do actually feel really connected to other remote workers in a way that I don't know that I thought about before. I'm meeting people, I'm seeing their homes because everybody's working from home now. And I do feel like, although we're all very digital, there is this sort of human connection that's been enabled by us all sort of going through something together. So I don't know if we're part of a metaverse, but I do certainly feel like there's been a real change in the way that people are working. And I think an appreciation for how folks are kind of making work for them. I certainly feel that kind of a kindred spirit with my other remote workers.
That is interesting. Amy Lang, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Strategy for Staples, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. It is very interesting because I know a couple of people I have coffee with that each time their corporation says they're about to open the office, they call it BTO, back to office, they keep pushing it back from September, October, now it's January. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. And we just have to be ready for whatever comes next.
It's called the Metaverse. Amy, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend.
Thank you for having me.